Hello, this is a quick tutorial on how to download Pyrevit. This will also tell you how to use custom extensions and how to use the custom extension I made that checks and makes sure that the sum of all the diffuser CFM values adds up to the equipment CFM. If you've done any of these steps before, there will be timestamps in the description that will create chapters for the video that you can jump around to the section that you need if you've already installed Pyrevit or done extensions, for example. So to get started, search up Pyrevit or follow the link I have in the description. So you can click on Pyrevit's webpage. If you go down here, it'll say install Pyrevit. Click that. You can install Pyrevit by clicking this GitHub link here. It'll take you to the GitHub link. GitHub can be a little bit overwhelming, but when it takes you to this page, just scroll all the way down to downloads. Choose the installer you want. I genuinely don't know what this one does. Maybe it's for like an admin or something, but you can just click one of these installers. It will go into your downloads file. So you can go into your downloads, run the installer. It'll say and ask if you trust this file. You'll want to click the more button up here and click run anyway. Pyrevit is trusty. You can go through the download agreement. There's some custom installation stuff you can choose. This video won't really go over any of that stuff, so you can just deselect all those things. I don't think those are necessary unless you know what those are. You'll click next. I already have Pyrevit installed, so I won't go through with the rest of the installation. The rest of the installation is quite straightforward. Once you've installed Pyrevit, it will automatically sync to your Revit. In Revit, Pyrevit will show up as a tab on your toolbar. So right after the add-ins, there'll be this Pyrevit button, and this will give you access to all the default Pyrevit things that you may need. But if you want to add a custom extension, you can go to this drop-down arrow here, navigate to Settings. It will open up the Settings thing. You want to go down to Custom Extension Directories, expand it if it's not already expanded, and click Add Folder. You want to navigate to the folder that your custom extension exists in. So you'd want to navigate to a directory like this, and it may have a name like Revit Mechanical Tools or some other name. The one that I've written has this name, Revit Mechanical Tools. You can look inside of it and you know that it's a Revit extension if you see this dot extension inside of the folder. You don't want to click on this folder though. You want to click on the parent folder, the one with just the name. You'll click select folder. You'll see it appear here. And then you just click save settings and reload. And it will load that extension into your Revit. So once the extension loads, you'll probably see a custom extension have its own tab up here, and it will have the buttons that you need that are provided from that custom extension. And that is how you download a custom extension and use it in your Revit. Alright, now to show you how to use my custom extension, which adds up all of the CFM values of diffusers and compares it to the equipment tag. It's as simple as clicking this check CFM button in the HVAC tools tab that comes with the extension. So I will show you on this project first. If I click the check CFM button, it will run the software and it will tell you if there are any discrepancies. So it'll say okay if it lines up, the diffuser count adds up to the equipment count. And it'll also tell you any systems that it skipped. So in Revit, some equipment and things that you place will be considered systems. My program only looks for supply air systems, so you may see other systems that aren't related come up here. It's just saying we see that those exist, but we're skipping them, and we're showing you the ones that do supply air. So this one shows that this file was good in this project. I'll show you a project that has CFM values not add up. So here's a project where CFM values don't add up. I'll click check CFM and you'll see a new thing comes up. There's this X mismatches found tab. It'll put an X near the system name and it'll tell you that the equipment was tagged for some CFM value here. The diffusers added up to this amount, and it will tell you the difference between those two values. So you can see here, our equipment has 180 more CFM than what the diffusers add up to. And for this system, our equipment has 180 less CFM than what the diffusers add up to. And it also has what was skipped. Lastly, I'll show you a project that has both discrepancies in the equipment and proper matches. And it also has an interesting little caveat you gotta watch out for if a diffuser is not attached to a system for whatever reason. So if we click check CFM for this project, it will show us there's mismatches and it will show us there's OK matches. The OK matches are good for this project, and these mismatches for RTU 102 and RTU 106 are correct. RTU 102 actually has a mismatch of 10 CFM, and this RTU 106 is for this lease space, so no diffusers have been placed for it yet. However, this RTU 103 is incorrect. It's showing that the equipment has been tagged for 2000 CFM, but the diffusers only add up to 1920, and that there's a difference of 80. The diffusers are 80 less than what they should be. However, if we were to go through and check this manually and add up the diffusers, all these diffusers actually add up to 2000. So the check seems to be wrong. However, upon manual inspection, if we click one of these diffusers, it'll say it belongs to the mechanical system supply air 4. And we can see that multiple of these diffusers belong to supply air 4 system underneath the mechanical tab. However, this diffuser, for whatever reason, says it belongs to supply air 3 instead of supply air 4. So you can manually fix this so that the checker checks properly by going into one of the diffusers that belong to the proper system, going up here to the tab and click Edit System. When you click Edit System, it will show you all of the diffusers that belong to the system. And this can be also helpful to see if you're missing any diffusers that are part of the system but aren't actually a part of the system. So all these diffusers belong to supply air 4, but this one does not. So you can add this diffuser to supply air 4, which belongs to that RTU, by clicking Add to System button up here and clicking on the diffuser. You'll get a warning saying that this diffuser belongs to a different system, but that system, supply air 3, didn't really belong to any actual equipment. So that's okay, just press it again and it will turn blue. And now this diffuser will be properly added to the supply air 4 system. So you can click Finish Editing System. We can click on it to confirm that it is now part of supply air 4 system. And now if we go up to the tool and click Check CFM, and run it, we'll see that RT103 now properly adds up to 2000 CFM, and all is good. So yeah, that's how you download Pyrevit, that's how you download custom extensions, and that's how you use the custom Check CFM extension that I've made. I plan to add more Revit tools that are custom up here in the future. Thanks for watching.